Hello, and welcome to the Gateway to 21st Century Skills introductory webinar. During this webinar, you will learn about the features available to you on the Gateway to 21st Century Skills. First, to get to the Gateway, go to www.thegateway.org. Once on our home page, you'll notice you're presented with several options. First, you can search for resources by keyword by simply entering the keyword in this box, this white box in the middle. You can click on the search button and it'll return a list of results that you had requested. You can also use an advanced search, and I'll come back to that in a minute to show you some of the special features available there. Just under the search by keyword, you'll notice the search by subject field. Now, in this field, we have pre-selected 5 subjects and a special resource for you. The arts, science, mathematics, social studies, language arts, and also featured resources. So you can simply, by clicking on, for example, mathematics, you will find all of the resources available in the Gateway to 21st Century Skills that are mathematic resources. I'll come back and explain what featured resources are in just a few minutes. Under Search by Subject, we have featured providers. So you'll want to watch this list closely because we will change it periodically. Currently, we have the National Education Association, the Social Navigator, Zaner Blozer, Reading Rockets, the National Science Digital Library, and the American Association for the Advancement of Science. One click on any of these icons will bring you up all of the resources for that particular featured provider. Just under featured providers, you can see you have the option to search by grade. By simply clicking on a grade level, the resources for that particular grade level will be returned. Now, in the middle right side of the home page, you'll see our scrolling marquee. There is some very important information on the marquee, and these slides will change as well periodically. 2 of the most important items on here are Joann's Picks and Peggy's Corner, which are 2 very popular columns that are read worldwide. And they also recommend resources for you. So I'll come back to that in just a minute as well. Let's scroll down a little bit on the home page, and you'll find on the left-hand side, there's currently a resource treasure hunt. You can simply join the treasure hunt at any time. We will have a webinar that explains the treasure hunt and how to do it as well. But in the meantime, click on it, and you can go right to it and learn on it on your own. Just below that is the Gateway Training. This is the location where all of the webinars will be posted for your reference and ease of following along and what's coming new to the Gateway and how to navigate in as quick a time as possible. There'll be some tips and tricks for you as well. In the middle section, we have the Gateway News. In this section, it's very important. This will change periodically as well, and this is our area to share with you news, updates, things that are happening with the Gateway. And then just off to the right side is a daily feature called Today in Literature. Today in Literature is a column written by Steve King, a professor from Nova Scotia. He's been writing this column since the mid-'80s, and it gives you information on an important item that happened on today's date somewhere in literary history. As you can see, it's a short column. It's usually just a paragraph long, but it gives you some really, really good information to take a look at for that day. At the very bottom of the page, you'll find our navigation tools. So, of course, you can go home at any time. You can click on About and find out more about the Gateway. You can click on our sponsors. You can see who's featured providers. You can see who's contributors, who uses the Gateway. You can also access the featured resources I mentioned. You can access Gateway News, Joann's Picks, Peggy's Corner, You can donate if you choose to do so, and then also help. The Gateway is run by Jess & Co. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we've been running the Gateway since its inception in 1996. Now let's take a look at Joann's Picks and Peggy's Corner. So you can access them by clicking on them from the marquee or simply scrolling to the bottom and click on. We'll start with Joann's Picks. So this is Joann's blog. Click on the very top one and you'll have her column for this week. You can see that this one happens to be using iPads in the classroom. Now Joann and Peggy collaborate weekly and they select a theme for that week. They come back, each of them separately write a column about that theme, and then they'll suggest resources. So Joann will select usually a elementary, a middle, and a high school resource. So there's something there every week for you as a teacher, no matter what grade you're teaching. And you simply click on that resource and go out to the resource. You can access Joann's archive of all of her columns are here. The columns are always very interesting. Joann puts a very personal twist to the column and why she wrote that column. And here you can see her biography. So you can also access Peggy's Corner by clicking either down here on the very bottom or at the bottom of Joann's column. We've also connected Peggy's column. And you can see Peggy following the same theme, using electronic devices in class. And then again, Peggy, as you scroll down, she writes her column and again puts her personal twist on it. And anything that's got an underline under it actually links out to these additional resources. And in the same format, you can access Peggy's archive or you can access her author information. To get home from this location, you either can click on this Gateway logo, or you can click on Home, which is right here in this box right above the title of the column. Or again, you can always feel free to scroll to the bottom and you can click on Home from there. And then you're right back on the home page. So let me show you what a resource looks like. I mentioned we pre-selected these subjects for you. So let's go to Advanced Search, and you'll see there are more subjects as we know. So here are 12 different subject icons. You can click on any of them and pull up the resources that are associated to that particular subject. And we've also given you all of these facets that you can search by. And again, you can look down here. There's many, many facets to make it very easy for you to narrow your search. But let's start with, let's just say physical education as an example. So you can see up in the current search on the right, there are 1,642 physical education items in the Gateway. Now you can scroll down and narrow your search even further by any of these facets. You can filter by subject, filter by type, filter by education level, filter by price code, by medium, by teaching method. So let's just use that as an example. And you can see where it says Show More. Anywhere you find that means that there's obviously more items than just the 3 that are showing. So let's click on that. And now I'm presented with many options. If I want to filter by teaching method, do I want simulations and games, integrated instruction, computer-assisted instruction, hands-on learning, etc. And you can narrow your search as far as you want by using those. And let me show you quickly now what a resource looks like. Each of these boxes is one resource. And it tells you a brief description, what type of resource it is, what the education level is, and what subjects it's good for. So we'll click on it one time. You'll get a little bit more metadata about it, telling you, in this case, a bigger description. You'll see that the status is free, that it's students, and this comes from PE Central. If I click on it one more time, I go out to the actual resource. And you can pull that resource and use it in your classroom. So let's go back now to home. And that's it for this webinar. In the next webinar, we'll dig deeper into how to make a free account and the free benefits and features that are associated to that. Hope you've enjoyed this. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.